Go.
Okay, we're gonna start off with something called a brain breakfast. So just like when you eat breakfast in the morning to wake yourself up, this is gonna wake up your brain, okay? So in this brain breakfast, we're gonna be talking about percentages, okay? So this first little one is, what is 12% of 80? Before we start, let's identify our parts. This guy right here is our percentage, okay? Tells us what little chunk we want. This guy right here, this is our whole. It tells us that we want to take the percent of this big number. And this guy right here, the what is, that's our part. That's what we need to find out. It's our missing piece. Okay? So, if we do this, 12% of, in math, of means to multiply. Okay? So 12% of 80 means I'm going to take my 12% and I'm going to multiply it by 80. Now, when we're dealing with percentages, we can't have a percentage times a whole number. We actually need to change it into a decimal. So behind this number, there's an imaginary decimal. Put a little dot behind the 12. And what I'm going to do is, when I'm dealing with percentages, you always move the decimal twice. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and now that 12% is going to be 0.12. Any questions on that part? Does that look familiar? Okay. So I have 0.12, and instead of that multiplication sign, I'm going to do the dot. It means the same thing. So that's 0.12 times 80. Now at this point, we're going to just do regular multiplication. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to do 0.12 on top. I'm going to do times 80 like that. Okay? Now I did it like that because this 80, the 0 is going to go away because I don't have to multiply by the zeros. So all I'm going to have to do is multiply by that 80. Are we okay so far? Thumbs up if you're okay. Okay. So, first things first, I got to put that 0 down because I'm not multiplying by it. So the second thing, 8 times 2. What's 8 times 2? 16. So I'm going to put a 6 down and I carry that 1. What's 8 times 1? 8 plus that other one? 9. 9. And then do I have to do 8 times 0? No, 8 times 0 is 0. Okay? So, I got 960. I can't do that because I had a decimal. So I got to move my decimals. How many decimal spaces do I have? 1, 2. So I need to take this guy. I need to move its decimal. 1, 2. So what's that new number?
9.60.
9.60. And that's our answer. Were you okay?
Yes.
Is there any questions on this guy? Do you think you want to try? Do you have a question?
Can you also divide? Or no?
When we're doing percentages, we don't do it. Okay? You just multiply. So this whole thing, we're just going to be multiplying. Do you guys feel like you can do this one? You want to try it? Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I want you to try it, and then I'm going to do it with you, okay? So you can work with your partner if you want and see if they need help or if you need help. So I'm going to put 2 minutes on the timer. My timer was not ready. And I'm going to walk around and help you if you need help.
So you move it 1 to 2, so it would be 0, 1 to 0.
guys can talk to your partner. Double check, see if you guys are getting the same answer, or if you're stuck. And when you're done, put your pencil down so I know that you're done. And we're out of time. Okay. So let's look at this problem. What is 3% of 15? Just like before, first thing I'm going to do is label my percentage. That was easy to find. It has a percent sign. Then I'm going to label my whole number. What was my whole number?
15.
15. Perfect. And then what am I missing? My part, and that's where that what is. Awesome. So, 3% of 15, that means 3%, what does of mean?
Times.
Times 15. Okay, here's the tricky part. I gotta move my decimal. So I'm gonna put an imaginary decimal right there. How many times do I have to move it?
2.
2. So I go 1, 2. So that's now 0.03. That's okay if you did 0.3. Honest mistake. It's just a breakfast. It's just to wake you up. Okay. So now I'm going to do 0.03 times 15. And just like before, I'm going to just try to do the easiest way. If I multiply by 15 on the bottom this time, I'm going to have to do 2 different steps, right? If I put 15 on top, I just have to multiply once. So I'm going to make my life easier. And I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to do 15 times 0.03. In math, you can do that. If it's multiplication, it doesn't matter the order. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at here. 3 times 5. What's 3 times 5?
15.
15. I put a 5 down. Carry the 1. 3 times 1?
3.
Plus 1?
4.
So I got 45. Am I done?
No.
Why not?
Because you have to move the decimal.
Move the decimal. So the decimal's right here, right? How many times am I moving it? 2. 1, 2. So our final answer is 0.45. Thumbs up if you got that. Thumbs up if you got 0.45. Okay, that's okay. It's a warm up. Is there any questions about this? Are we okay? All right. Now what we're gonna start before we get into, oh yes.
How do you get the 4 in there instead of 1?
Oh, 3 times 1
Yeah.
is 3, right?
Yeah.
And then you add 1. So it should have been a 4.
Oh.
Did you put a 1 down?
Yes.
You did 3 times 1 is 1. It's fine. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. Before we go ahead and start, I want to just fill out this little map. Okay? I want to find out what you know. We're going to start here. Have you heard of the term sales tax
Yeah.
before? Okay, can somebody tell me what they think a sales tax is? I'm just going to write it down. This is a little, mind map. Jack.
It's like money. It's like if it says like it's 99 cents, you add more to make it $1.
So, money, we add more. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
It's like when you buy something, but then you have to pay a little bit extra so that you can go to the city to fix the roads.
So, when you buy something, you pay
A bit more.
a bit more. and it goes towards, you want me to write all that, or are you okay with that?
That's okay.
Okay. Matt?
Some states don't have sales tax.
Oh, okay. Some states don't have sales tax. Does California have sales tax?
Yes.
Yes. We have to pay extra. Yeah.
Not all countries have sales tax. Mexico doesn't.
In Canada.
Oh. Not all countries. Have sales tax. But you guys have a pretty good idea of what sales tax is. So on your page, you have a little fill in the blank, right? It says sales tax is a blank. You pay for blank a good. Okay? So, sales tax is a tax. It's in the name, right?
Yes.
That you're going to pay for buying a good. So sales tax is a tax that we're going to pay additionally when we buy something. So say you go and buy a video game, you're going to pay the price of the video game, and then you're going to pay a little extra in sales tax. You okay with that? Okay, let's look over here. I have something called a tip, or the fancy name means exactly the same thing. It's called a gratuity. Do you guys know what a tip is? Yeah.
It's like leaving something for like a server.
Okay, so leaving. What do you mean by something?
Like leaving money for sure.
Leaving money for a server. Okay. Matt.
It's for like if a server done a good job, it's like a reward.
Okay, so a reward for a server. Okay.
Give it to someone extra.
You give it to someone extra, okay? So it's an extra. Okay, one more, Maddie.
If you go through the drive-thru, you don't have to leave a tip.
Ah, so if I go through the drive-thrus don't need tips. Drive-thrus don't need tips.
They just charge it off your card.
Why do you think they don't need tips? When you go to a drive-thru, does anybody really like serve you? Or it's fast, right? It's fast, so they don't need a tip. Yeah.
But sometimes I think like they charge it off your card.
They might. So on your page, you have a tip is blank given to a server in blank to a blank. Okay? Let's fill in these blanks. A tip is additional money given to a server in addition to a bill. A tip is additional money given to a server in addition to your bill. So in addition means you're going to add more, right?
Yes.
So you're going to pay for how much your food costs, or maybe your haircut, or maybe your nails, or whatever you're getting, whatever service you're getting. And then you're going to pay extra to the server in addition to your bill. So that's going to be a price that you, or a percentage that you make up. Sales tax, that's wherever you are, they tell you the sales tax. So if you're in, let's say, El Centro, maybe your sales tax is 8%. That's always 8% in El Centro. When you're doing a tip, you pick the percentage. So maybe you want to give 20% tip. Maybe you want to give a 10% tip. Generally speaking, people do about 15%. Okay, but we're going to work with all sorts of percentages around it. Are we okay with that? Okay. So, can I erase the board? Okay. I have a little board, so I'm going to have to erase a lot. Now, there's two different ways to calculate sales tax and tips. Exact same way to the exact same way to calculate sales tax as it is tips. It's the same type of process. But there's two different ways. You get the same answer, you're just going to end up picking your favorite. We're going to do both. Okay, our first way Wanna see magic?
Voila.
Okay, our first way, we have a first method. You're gonna change your percentage to a decimal. Then you're gonna multiply by a price. So say if you're buying, let's say, a doll. Maybe your doll is $10. You're gonna take a percentage from your sales tax. So maybe it's 8%. You're gonna change that 8% to a decimal. You're gonna multiply that 8% by your price. And your last step is you're gonna add your price to find the total cost. Okay? Now we're gonna do 2 problems like this using method 1 together. Okay, so do you see on your page where it says example 1?
Yes.
So on example 1, it says what is the total price of a toy if the toy is $10 and the sales tax is 6%. So what is the total price of a toy if the toy is $10, $10 and sales tax is 6%. Okay? What is the total price of a toy if the sales tax is 6%, toy is $10? So, this guy right here, $10, that would be our price. Okay? That's going to be our price. What's going to be our percentage?
66%.
6%. So, if I'm going to use my first method, my first way to do it, my first step is I'm going to change my percentage to a decimal, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to take 6%, and I need to change it to a decimal. How am I going to change it to a decimal?
By putting an imaginary decimal.
So I'm going to put an imaginary decimal where?
Right then.
Right behind it?
Mhm.
Becca, how many times am I going to move the decimal?
2.
2 times. So I'm going to go once, twice, and that becomes 0.06. Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. My second step is I'm going to multiply by my price. So what's my price?
$10.
So I'm going to take 0.06 and I'm going to multiply it by 10. Okay? So off to the side, I'm just going to do some multiplication. I'm going to do 10 times 0.06. Oops, let me line that up better. Okay? So 10 times 0.06. And it doesn't matter which order we do on this one, it's going to be easy either way, right? Okay, so I put 10 on top, 0.06. You can do it the other way. You get the same answer. So looking at this guy, I'm going to start with a 6. What's 6 times 0?
0.
Oh, I put 0 down. What's 6 times 1?
6.
That was easy. 60. Can I leave it like that?
No.
Why not?
It needs a decimal.
It needs a decimal. So how many places am I going to move that decimal?
2 times.
2 times. So it's at 60. I'm going to go once, twice. And what's that new number?
0.60.
0.60. Okay. My last step is I'm going to add to my price to find the cost. Okay. So what was my original price?
$10.
$10.
So my original price was $10. And what this 0.60 is, it's
It's
really
like
60 cents. Because that's how much I'm going to pay in tax. So this is like 60 cents. So all I'm doing is $10 plus 60 cents. Okay? So what's $10 plus 60 cents?
$10.60.
$10.60. There wasn't really much adding on that one. So this guy is $10 and 60 cents. It's what?
It's kind of cheap for a toy.
Maybe it was on sale.
Maybe it was from the dollar tree. From the dollar store? Then that would be really expensive.
Are we okay with this?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? No? So, here's what I'm going to show you now. Flip to the second page. Okay? Now, that was method 1. Okay? I'm going to do magic again. Watch. Voila. We also have a second method. Okay? Now, the second method, you're still going to get the same answer, regardless of how you do it. But method 2 is instead of changing your decimal to a percent as soon as you start, you're going to add 100%, oops, made a typo, not to my original price, to my original percent. So I'm going to add 100% to my original percent. Okay? Then I'm going to change my percentage into a decimal. So I'm going to add 100% to my original percent. Then my second step is I change it to a decimal. My third step is then I would multiply by my price. By changing it to a decimal after I add 100%, I don't need to do a second or a last step of adding to the original price because it's going to already be factored in there. You okay with that? I'm going to show you. Now the way I'm going to show you, we're going to do the same problem. Do you see how it says example 1 again?
Yes.
We're going to do the exact same problem again, but we're going to do it this different way. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
So, same parts, that is still your price, that is still your percentage. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the difference is, on this next, this example, oops, we're going to do the second method. So the first step for the second method is I need to take 100%. So I'm going to take 100%, and I need to add it to what percent?
6%.
Okay, so I take 100% and I add it to 6%. So what's 100% plus 6%?
106%.
106%. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Any questions there?
No.
Okay, was that easy for your first step?
Yes.
Okay. Now, my second step is now I'm going to change my percentage to a decimal. So this is my percentage right now, right? 106%. How do I change it to a decimal?
Move it twice to the right.
Twice.
Left.
Yes, so
I'm like,
it's okay. I'm an adult and I still don't know sometimes. So 106%, we're going to move it twice, right? So I'm going to go once, twice, and now that guy becomes 1.06. Are you okay with that?
yes.
So if this was the price, it would be $1.06.
Yes, but this is a percentage, so it's a little different. Okay? Are we okay with step 2?
Yes.
Okay, our third step, we are going to multiply our new percentage, that 1.06, by our price. So I'm going to do 1.06 times our price, which is still $10, right?
Yes.
So now I'm going to do my multiplication, and this time I am going to pick this guy to put on top to make my multiplication easier. So I'm going to do 1.06 times 10. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So, do I need to multiply by the 0? No, I'm just going to put it down. Okay? So, what's 1 times 6? 6. What's 1 times 0?
0.
0. And 1 times 1?
1.
1. So I got 1,060. Is that okay?
Yes.
Wait, am I missing something?
Yes.
What am I missing?
Just a decimal.
My decimal. How many times do I have to move it?
2 times.
Twice. So it's right here. I'm going to go once, twice. I ran out of room. I'm sorry. So now what is this number? 10.60. But we're talking about money, right?
Yep.
So I need to add
A dollar sign.
A dollar sign. So now this is $10.60. Do we see how we got the exact same answer?
Yes. Yes.
So if you do method 1 or method 2, it's the same answer. Yes.
So if it has a number 1 in before the in front of the decimal, it goes on top.
Like on this one?
Yeah.
I did it because it made it easier. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Okay, in this case, it would make it easier if I put it on top. Yeah.
Usually would method 2 make it like give you the exact answer? Like so that you wouldn't have to add?
Yeah, so method 2, you don't have to add at the end. It's already factored in there. Method 1, you do have to add at the end. However, they get you the same answer. It's going to be up to you. So some kids, they like doing this. That's fine. You can do that. Some kids like doing that. Up to you. Okay? So you might do it differently than your partner. It's okay. As long as you get the same answer, you're fine. Any questions on that? Okay, so what I'm going to do is because we did it by hand, right?
Yeah.
But we have calculators. So if you flip onto that last page, okay? You flip onto that last page, there's 2 problems. Okay? I'm going to give you time to work on those 2 problems. I'm going to walk around and help you if you need help. And then we're going to do them on the board. Okay? I'm going to give you a calculator because we've done it by hand. You know how to do it. So now you can use a calculator to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes and then we're going to do them together. Is there any questions? You can work with a partner. You can talk. You can ask me for help. That's perfectly fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you get stuck, just raise your hand and I can help you out. The decibels, so move the times twice, so it's like 1.1. So make sure you do that because if you multiply 100 by 118, you're going to get a big number. Okay? You can ask your partners for help, you don't have to be quiet. You can ask me for help. Okay. One?
Yes.
I'll give you about 2 more minutes to work. Yes, ma'am.
I know how to do it by hand, but I don't know how to do it by calculator. $60.
You're 60, and that gets you 1.8, right? So now all you gotta do is add 60 plus 80.
I did how
You added 0 because it's money, right?
I did it. I put 60.00 down.
It's the same thing. You'll be fine. Yeah, go. Yeah, you can add as many. Oops, my marker. You can add as many zeros. Okay, finish up what you're doing. I'm gonna go over the first problem. And don't worry about doing number 2, because I want to make sure we have time for our activity. Okay? Wrap up that last little scribble. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Can I have all eyes on me? Okay, so we're gonna work on this first problem because we're running out of time. What is the total cost of a restaurant bill if your bill is $60 and you want to leave an 18% tip? Okay? So, if my restaurant bill is $60 and I want to leave an 18% tip, where is my percentage?
18%.
18%, okay? And where is my whole?
$60.
$60. Okay? Were we all okay with finding our percentage and our whole?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we have method 1, method 2. Hands up if you want to see me do it by method 1. Okay, we'll do it by method 1, that's fine. If you do it by method 2, you get the exact same answer. Okay, so my first step, I need to change my percentage to a decimal. So I'm going to take my percentage, that is 18%. All right. How do I change it to a decimal? I take my imaginary decimal, move it twice. And what's my new number?
0.18.
0.18. Okay. What's my second step?
Bring down the $60.
Okay, I'm going to multiply by my price, which is my $60. So I'm going to do 0.18 times $60. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put the 0.18 on top just because it's going to make it a little bit easier. So 0.18 times 60. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to multiply by that 0?
No.
Nah. I'm just going to bring it down. So let's start at that 6. What's 6 times 8?
48.
So I'm going to put the 8 down. You bring up the 4. What's 6 times 1?
6.
6 times 1 is 6. Plus 4?
10.
So I put a 0 down. And I put a 1 up there. What's 6 times 0?
0.
0. But I have a 1 there, so I'm going to add it. So I got 1,080. Is that correct?
No.
No.
What am I missing?
The decimal.
So I'm going to put my imaginary decimal point. How many times am I moving it?
2.
Twice.
Once, twice. Okay, so what's that new number?
$10.80.
$10.80. Okay, cool. Did we get that so far?
Yeah.
And our third step, we need to add that $10.80 to our original price, which was $60. So, I'm going to take my $60, bring it down, and add it to $10.80. So I have $60 plus $10.80. Okay, what's $60 plus $10.80?
$70.80.
$70.80. That would be our final answer. Thumbs up if we got $70.80. Okay. Did you set it up but maybe added wrong somewhere? Or did you move your decimal? Forget it?
I just didn't add the 6.
It's okay. Oh, so you got here, but you forgot to add the 60? That's okay. We're okay with that. Any questions on this problem? Because I want to do our activity. Okay. So, what we're going to do right now, we're going to play a little activity. This little activity, I'm going to give you a worksheet. Okay? Everybody in the room is going to have a different worksheet. Even me, Mrs. Prescott, I'm going to have a different worksheet. So what's going to happen is you got to figure out on your worksheet what you're missing. So everybody's going to have different problems. Some of you are going to have questions to a problem. Some of you are going to have answers to a problem. You're going to have to go around the room and you're going to have to figure out who has the question to maybe the answer that you have, or you got to solve your question to find somebody with a matching answer. Okay? So everybody has a different problem, or has different problems. So Matt can't just stay with Maddie the whole time, because Maddie only has one of his answers. So you got to talk to everybody, even me. We got it? Okay. You're going to have 1, 2. So you're going to be able to work together. You are going to be able to.
What? Do you have $5 I have $12.92. 26 cents.
Do you have one?
26?
What?
Victoria?
Oh, good. So we have a matching one. So
You
then
don't know what.
you're going to write the question. So that was the question right there. So that's your question. So I'm going to write the answer.
$5.72.
You're going to write the question. And I'm going to write my question. Okay. So now we got to write the answer. So I already got. So you already know. Okay. Hey, you guys doing over here?
We haven't found anyone.
Well, I have one that's $23. Do you guys have one?
I found an answer.
Do you have $3?
I have one problem. I haven't tried it. I can try it.
I think we have all has it.
Matthew has that one?
20.
Okay, we'll see. Do you do this one real quick?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have a dollar?
Oh,
wait.
Sales taxes. 6%.
I have a $44.80.
What? Do you have a dollar?
Sales tax is 6%. 6%.
Oh, wait.
Market. 6%.
So we do sales tax, but then do we have to add it to?
You gotta add it, yeah. You gotta always add it at the end.
Okay.
I found one that was $44.80.
Does everyone have like
So I wrote the answer here, and you're gonna write the question. So write the question for your answer, and then I'm gonna write your name. So this is right that. The bill is $40 and tip is 12%. Because that is your answer. Because you had the actual answer, so you didn't have the question. You're missing the question. Did you have? Oh, I found one that was 23.
Oh, this is okay.
So then I have the answer, or I have the question. You had the answer, so you didn't write down the question. The bill is $20 and the tip is 15%. Oops, I gotta put my name on it because else I'll be the name.
Bill is
$3. So once we've got something from each other, then we don't have any other matching ones.
That's I need to figure out this that's
Right?
oh okay. So let me figure it out.
Okay, so I have 100. Can I have that?
I have a $1.
So I'm adding $1 to $10. So what would that be?
$1.
$1 plus $10.
$1.10.
Let's see. I have $10. I'm adding one more dollar. 10 plus 11. 11. So you found it. So something has to have an 11. You gotta find them.
Yeah, I have 11.
Oh, so Becca has an 11.
Oh, but
So you gotta exchange.
Do you, oh, sorry. Do you have the answer of $26 and 10 cents? Which is this?
this one. Which we
Yes,
started
Okay.
with.
So then this question is this one. Number six.
Okay, guys, I know we're not finished, but let's just go back to our seats real quick. Finish that last little thing and let's go back to our seats. So the last little thing I'm going to give you is an exit ticket. So your ticket out the door. This page has 5 questions. We're not going to get all 5 questions. But I want you to pick a question on this worksheet and I want you to try to work it out. Okay? So when you are done with your one question that you did, I want you to put it in the basket. Alright?
Are we doing reading or calculating?
You can use your calculator. And write your name on it, please, so that I know it's you. You can use your calculator and you can talk with your partner if you want. You can work with your partner. You can work independently, that's fine. I'll walk around if you need any help. You just need to do one problem. That's all I want to see.